sa re sa 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 re sa 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 re sa 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 ra. Hare re hare 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 re hare 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 re hare 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 ram. Sa re sa 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 re sa 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 re sa 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 ram. Hare re hare 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 re hare 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 re.
Please sit down. For that. That's all right, open that. It is. Onyx. Still very good. This you have to keep somewhere. Your achievement in life is based on your glandular secretion, which mostly you don't pay attention to. Normally the body is made to survive up to 120 years with the extra 10 to 30 years if possible. However, because of imbalance in glandular secretion, the body gets older, weaker. There are three things which makes the body very sick. Unnurturing food, denial of cold water and swimming for circulation, and opening of capillaries, and allowing the body to get into a system where glandular system can secrete so that the chemistry of the blood can be balanced. You must do something or one thing, whatever it takes you, that you must sweat for 15 minutes. You must reach a point that you must sweat for 15 minutes. And you must take a cold shower or a cold bath where you can massage, like in a river you dip in and dip out and dip in and dip out, or you take a cold shower where you do not feel the water is cold. That is essential. And thirdly, your food must have a primary food of the season. The season food is what body needs the most. If you take a watermelon in winter, you are doing something damaging, you are not doing anything good. But if you go on taking melon, you will take a lot of zinc, and if you do not take copper and things which are rich in copper, you will create a problem. And it doesn't matter what you eat. What it matters is what you digest. Principle of a food is very simple. If you eat anything which does not come in your body in next 24 hours, it will make your body older and sicker and weaker. Just remember that. There are certain things which you normally glandularly do which has a problem. It is unfortunate here you don't wash your anus properly, and mostly from that the infection comes, the yeast infection, all those problems. Second, you have a problem that you do not stop while urinating. Normally, you just urinate straight. That is the most unhealthy thing you can do. In later age, you will have a bladder which will not be in a position to retain the urine. You will have problem with lot of other stuff. After all, there are inner muscles which needs health, and they have some need that you pay some attention. Fortunately, the ladies have to sit down and urinate. Ill luck would have it, men are standing and urinating, they normally become impotent because of that. The entire muscular system becomes loose, and then they can't perform anything. And then they blame the doctors, the medicine. There are very simple things in health which you have to do. If you take a chance to eat after 4 p.m. Now, I'm not discussing what our habits are. I'm discussing what body needs. If you take a food after 4 p.m., it will only digest at 6:30. It takes 2.5 hours for the food to digest and leave the stomach, get into the system. But if you eat at 6:30 or 7 o'clock, your food will be digested by 9 and 9:30 or 10. Before you can go to bed, you need clear 4 hours for a sound sleep. So you can well understand, normally people who eat 9, 10 o'clock, they keep awake 1, 2, they go to bed, they get up at about 9, 10 o'clock. I don't care what you say and what anybody says or what you eat. Sulp ahar, alp ahar, alp ahar, sulp sinindra. Alp. Alp ahar is 1/3 of the stomach. Sulp sinindra, nap. Nap sleep, which body requires is 30 minutes, 31 minutes, that's all. You have solid one nap for 31 minutes, you can survive 8 hours. That's how powerful your body system is. But when you sleep, it's a most beautiful, fantastic phenomena. First is you want to sleep, then you pretend to sleep, then you try to sleep, then you sleep, then you crawl to sleep, then you change side to sleep, then you relax muscle to sleep, then you think to sleep, then you dream to sleep, then you have idea and real dream to sleep, then you have deep dreams to sleep, then you try intend pretendingly to sleep, then you sleep. And before there is 15 minutes sleep, you are already trying to get up. It takes you 4 hours to get to 15 minutes nap and 4 hours to get out of that 15 minutes nap. You waste 8 hours of your life for 15 minutes nap. But if you meditate and consolidate and relax to go immediately into nap and come out of nap, you only require half an hour. Do you understand what I'm saying? Majority of the people after 36th year have problem to sleep. As you grow, it is difficult to sleep because the heat of the blood is not there and the capillaries are not open. So you require to have open capillaries. And there is no system in this universe except a dead cold water to open the capillaries. And whatever is the thickness is your hair, half of it is the capillary. That is so thin. The artery brings the red blood and serves the body, and then in the end collects it through the exchange of the capillaries. It turns blue and it brings to the heart to get it, pump it into the lungs, get to the oxygen, make it red again, take it back. Now, if you breathe half upper lung, you do not do any good to your breath, through your breath and through your prana, to make your blood worth anything. So therefore you must breathe deep. So the blood is heavier than the air, water is heavier than the air. So the breath has to go deeper into the lower cells, lower chambers of the lungs to react and convert the blood to purification. Your body needs to be stretched once a day, and that is before you open up your eyes. The system to wake up is when you feel like you're waking up, you must stretch your toes forward and be on your back and make your body totally straight. That way you bring all the meridian into lining and you demand on pituitary to wake you up. And pituitary meridian is in the center of the toe, big toe. From there you roll your feet. That means you stimulate gallbladder and etc., etc. Then you bring tension all the way to the thighs, and then you move your pelvic bone to stretch it out so that you can never have a lower back pain. Then you consolidate your rib cage, and then you come to the end. After that you turn to the left and have a cat stretch, then you go to the right and have a big cat stretch. And after that, you crawl your knees to your chest and lock them with your hand and let the extra air which is stuck during the night get out of your system. It is all in the bed, blanket is still on, quilt is still on, you're not moving out. After doing so, you stretch out and you relax. Before you stretch your toes, you have to take your hands and you stretch them out from your elbows and all that, then bring them on the hand up here so that you open your eyes into the palm of your hand. And then you massage your face. That is the most best massage and keeps you young than any oil which has been advertised so far in the TV and you know. Just like that, open up and then just. Second thing is take these two thumbs and massage your ears. The entire ear has all the meridians you want and stimulate that, and it means you have done the total acupuncture. Takes your hands at the back of the neck, stretch it out and fight. You want to put the hand forward, neck wants to go down. And look stretching, how powerful stretching is this. You must contract your body that it cannot be contracted more, and you must relax your body that it cannot be expanded more. This must be done 11 times during the day before you touch the ground from your bed. Same thing when you lie down in the bed, you should do all this. You don't need oil of ole. I'm not kidding. Rosa Krishnas is a Christian order. They have printed a book. Glands are the guardian of the health. It's a very fantastic word. Please read it. In West, that is the only work available. How many of you have a Farman Khalsa? How many of you have read it? How many of you have understood it? If you just understand what is in it, it will save you from so much trouble you can't believe it. There's not a one facet of life on which there's not a one poem. Almost. It has 108 poems. You can read it and understand it. I dictated it. 9 a.m. I sat down to dictate it, and the last poem, Temple of Steel, was dictated while outside the ranch, and it was written on this back of the car where you put the luggage, what do you call it? Trunk. Because by then it was 3 a.m., we said, that's it, now we have to meditate, finished. There is certain information in it which is very, very antique, useful and worthy. Now, you will develop a disease, according to feelings. According to? And you will terminate your life with such a disease according to your emotions. Emotions and feeling are there to determine which way you have to die. Your physical death comes out of two things: feelings and emotions. Because if a man does 26 intercourses, physical intercourses with any female, and he goes through one wet dream, they are equal. Believe it or not. There are certain things which you do in subconscious dream and in commotion. One commotional fit for 15 minutes is equal to 7 days of working capacity. "15 minutes. If you remain in a state of commotion for that much energy you can use for one complete week. You understand? 1 minute of panic, 1 minute is equal to your 36 hours of relaxed time. One minute of is equal to, if you feel sexy, just listen to this. If you feel sexy while eating, it can happen. Difficult? No, it happens many times. No, yes. It is equal to raping your stomach for 12 times. And if you do this 82 times in your life, you shall have ulcers. Doesn't matter who you are. I'm just giving you numericals. And if you ever have sex or masturbate, when you have eaten a food within 2.5 hours, you can develop colon cancer or colon ulcer, whatever it takes. Your body is so sensitive and so neurotic and so independent and so sovereign. You break one rule with it, it will get even with you somehow and kill you. There's nothing you can do. If you want to sneeze, right? You want to? And you stop one sneeze, right? What do you do? Right? Within 7 days you will have a terrible cold. Try it sometime. And then you will do achoo, achoo. Then it will be horrible. When you yawn, when you yawn and you do not open your full jaw, next day your day is done. Period. You will be tired, forgetful, and crazy. If you yawn like this, it's fine. But if you do, that's all you need. Yeah.
Why is it when someone yawns often? What makes me yawn?
The electromagnetic field in the room, like a pollen has an intercourse with the flowers to make the bud, yawn comes when the body electromagnetic field wants to make, body needs to recuperate. That's the signal. And if your food has a aroma, good smell, it digests good, and you eat little, you shall go to sleep. If a food doesn't smell right to your nose, that's why the nose is on the top of the mouth. That food, that day, it may be the best dish. That food, that day, you must not eat. Your nose must approve the food before it goes on to mouth. And your mouth must suck out the taste out of it before it goes to stomach. Any morsel you put in your mouth has to be completely merged with saliva before it is entered the stomach. How you eat? Fill it up. That food will come out in 1 week as it is undigested and absolutely rots your body. You have any idea of that? That is what they say, chew your food. Have you seen what they do? If they open the wine bottle, watch that. They put it in a something and then you do that, right? You have seen, if you don't drink, you are seen in the movies, you are seen everywhere. You can smell your wine, you can't smell your food. If you smell your food, your nose will tell you don't eat it. If nose tells you don't eat it, you eat it, you are eating your poison. Doesn't matter how good and healthy food is. And if you eat food and it gives you a blah taste, you understand? It won't taste. Unfortunately, your saliva will tell you the food has no taste for you. That though it is the tastiest food, I'm not discussing that. That food will take 7 days to come out of your system. And it will take maximum energy out of your body to come out. You will be tired, you will be weak, you will have less memory, you cannot think fast, because when food is stuck in the stomach and the colon and the intestine, it takes all the blood attention. It cuts the blood supply to brain, it cuts supply the blood to the other extremities. Person is not well. Jaisa anna, food, as the food is, taisa tan, that is the body, taisa man, that is how the mind is, taisa sukh tan, that is then how the comfort and the wealth will be. And in the West, you always have heard what they say, you are what you eat. You are. So please understand, food either has to be very clean, well done and raw. You can eat raw food only if you can chew it well. That's why people learn to cook the food. Neither you should have overcooked food, nor undercooked food. Best food is if you steam the food and then saute it to your taste. That's the best way of cooking. Herbs are just to facilitate the digestion of the food. For example, if you eat red meat, what you call steak, you eat steak, it will give you 4.6 protein. Digestible. Are you with me? But if you eat broccoli, it will give you 8.6 protein, digestible. Broccoli is the highest digestible protein But if you do not digest it properly, it will give you so much powerful gas that you will never forgive it. It will start air pump in you. Why? You didn't digest it in the mouth, you didn't digest, the stomach can't handle it, body cannot handle it. Track has to produce the wind to get it out. But if you cook the broccoli properly and give it some kind of dressing, some kind of, like as you do for salad or something else, eat it. And same with spinach. You must eat one day a week eggplant. Eggplant is the sexiest, full of iron, and the most cleansing food you can get. But it must be cooked properly. There are certain things, my dear ladies, you need. You need one banana a day for potassium. You need one pear a day. Pear, for your blood deficiency of iron. You need one half of apple a day, not full, half. Apple. You need a glass of whey blended with 4, what they call those, figs. 4 figs, glass of whey, hello, 2 apricots, 1 date, 5 those little sticks of saffron. And in a blender, which luckily you have these days, otherwise they used to have pestle and mortar, and you had to blend it for 20 minutes to make it as one homogeneous drink. And if your health can afford it, you are not fat, you can put a scoop of very pure ice cream, not the commercial ice cream. I'm sorry. You take milk and honey or maple syrup and put it in your freezer. But milk and maple syrup, you have to blend in a blender, heavy enough, and if you want to give it a very taste, put some this cheese, that something, and some smell in it, whatever you like, you taste, put it in a freezer, and then folks, when it is ready, put some those ready, but don't use water. Just wait. Got it? All right. The cheese which is left out of that, you mix it with this, what you call it in English? Garbanzo flour. That you, and with ordinary flour, and make a bread. You will have best bones, ladies, and you have a clean digestive system, and you will have no shortage or anemia of any kind. But when you make the bread, do not put, I repeat, do not put water. What you put? Onion water. Onion water. When you take paneer, they call it paneer, but what has come out of the way, and you make, it will be very creamy bread, it's beautiful. I used to be very special with it. Kids used to steal it. It's very good. Very healthy. But do not put water in it, put onion water, onion juice. It's very tasty. As you put onion juice, make the bread, lemon, little baking soda to make it fluffy. And one who can make a bread like that, forget it, very good. Or, in India what we do, we make the flour, stretch it, and we pack it with that stuff and make 7-layer paratha on the tawa, and it's ready. And eat when it's hot. All right, number one thing which you need the most for your headache. Kayan. Say it. Kai? Kayan. Little bit. Not much. Don't burn your tongue. But black pepper for purifying the blood and cayenne for keeping the head in straight one unit. Then best thing the planet Earth which God has given you is called holy basil, and its Indian name is tulsi. We have a western basil, also that holy basil is the family of the basil, but our basil is very long leaf, but that's very small. In India, actually in the temples, they give you charnamat, the water from the god's feet. Actually, you know what it is? It's a little spoon of water, ordinary water, tap water, but they put those 5 leaves in it, and they are enough for the day. Fresh basil is very effective, but 3 pounds of this basil is equal to an ounce of holy basil. That's the difference. Our basil, if we take 3 to 4 pounds of this, that is 1 ounce of the holy basil. Potency is different. If you chew in the morning, if you can grow a tulsi plant and you take 5 leaves of it in the morning and just chew it, that will be your day. Because holy basil protect all kinds of diseases, blood diseases including cancer. It protects you from every disease. It is very essential for you to, going before bed as a woman, to adjust your glandular system. Put your eyes on the tip of the nose and breathe consciously. Consciously breathe through the left nostril without touching with the hand. Force it and bring it on the other side. It takes about 40 to 90 days that you can practice it. Once you can have that practice, you will never be weak. You can alter the strength of your nose at your command then, and if you're feeling dizzy or weak or withdrawn and you gotta go, change the nostril, go. Hallelujah, no problem. Got it? You cannot die, doesn't matter what happens, if the breath is not coming equally through to both nostrils. We are getting good time for students these days. Breath comes from both nostrils, that's the moment you can breathe your last. So long you have a control over breath and you won't let it come to a neutral breathing, you can continue, doesn't matter what. And conscious. I have met a person who waited 7 days to die till his disciple came back from a yatra. He was lying absolutely, whole body dead, with a very meager life, but he was alert and conscious. You know the thing called comfrey? What is it? And chamomile? And yogi tea? Now look this trick. Make comfrey, chamomile and peppermint tea. In that water, make the yogi tea. You are drinking pure gold. Comfrey, peppermint, equal weight. And boil them. Really good. Make a dense tea out of it. Right? Leave the leaves, have that water. And when you want to have a yogi tea, cup of yogi tea, stick equal to 1 cup the ingredients and boil them. Try it. It's worth the trouble and it's worth the day. What? Keep it what? No. Yogi tea you make it already, and when that tea water is there, you mix the yogi tea water and milk, the whole thing then, and make it a tea right there and make a cup for you. You remember old days when we have a pot of yogi tea boiling all the time, and we'll take a quarter cup of yogi tea and put a quarter cup of milk, and here we go. If you have already made a water of yogi tea and is ready for drinking, you take a cup out of that and mix it with the other stuff. But in yogi tea, just remember, there's a one little formula. You boil it in milk. Take half cup of yogi tea and a quarter milk and make it and put 1/4 the other tea. That's the proportion. And you got a best thing in the world for yourself. But it's a little ticklish because yogi tea you have to prepare it and you have to boil it in the milk first. Because if you put chamomile tea and protein, which is a milk, together, you are creating atom bomb. You don't need it. Then chamomile, instead of relaxing, reversely acts. That's why we avoid it. Make yogi tea, first ingredient, put in a water, and tea is ready. And then take as much tea you want, put milk in it, boil it, and it's ready for your use, right? And then the quarter place which is left, stick the other tea. You will have fun. It's very tasty. I went to Japan, and from Tokyo I went to that mountain. What they call that mountain? Fuji. And at the foot of that mountain, they invited me to a tea ceremony. Now guess how much time it took to get one cup of tea? 3.5 hours. One cup of tea, they gave me this little bamboo. Yeah, true. Oh, they made us sit, they made us chant, they made us drink. After, in the end, and they keep on doing things which I couldn't believe. In the end, finally, the cup of tea was ready as it is, and they gave it to me. I said, if I can go 3.5 hours through this for one cup of tea, there's nothing in the world I cannot do. They make it real. They call it tea ceremony. And once in Japan, I was invited by Archbishop Kiriyama. He's now internationally very great man. At that time it was reasonable. He took me to a restaurant which he has booked already 5 months ago, something like that. We were given, I think, 37 or 39 dishes to eat. Each dish was an ounce of total weight. So 39 ounces of food you have to eat. Each dish preparation was a scenery. With the rice, there was a cart, the wheels, the bullocks and the whole thing, and ladies walking by having a grass on their head and the whole thing. It was a complete scenery in food. Now the difficulty was how to eat it. It was so pretty. But one after that, it all came, and there were 3 attendants. One was attended by sit there who will serve us, one who will bring it, one who will stand on our top. It cost $500 American per person. And they drank sake, which was extra. But I have never seen such a pictorial dish served ever. It's worth the money. One dish came, the guy was in a boat, he was fishing. He was fishing in a boat, and there was a lantern and there was a whole thing. Amazed me. And I actually didn't want to break it. Fascinating way to eat. You must understand this. Bhojan means food which is to be served. Tan means wealth. Bhojan, tan or nari. Nari means woman. Tino padde ke adhikari. Padda means cover. Keep the food covered, keep the money covered, and keep the woman covered. Idea is not to cover you, is to wrap you up because we want to sell a cloth. That's not the idea. Your magnetic psyche is so powerful, it needs a veil. It's not the East, the West, the system, the geography. It's a fact of life. Because sometime, try it very privately, without mentioning. Sit down somewhere and cover your head up to this with a thin veil, see-through veil. See-through veil for about 1 minute, and then take it off. Just see what happens to you. No question asked. Just sit calmly and put a veil on your up to neck, cover your head, and it should be you can see through. And after 31 minutes, take it off. Once in lifetime, just for the experience. And it should be either pure silk or pure cotton, no other cloth. is admissible in this. Just taste it. What does it to you? You and your glands have a direct relationship of response. There's no problem in getting a facelift, but if you keep your glands handsome, you will be beautiful. Glands have direct effect, and they are guardian of the health. Health is very important if you want to achieve things. We are going to do one little exercise. It is a little painfully hard, but for a few minutes I think you can spare it. Pressure has to be 10 pounds on the tip of the fingers. If you have long nails, put the nail one over, one under. The direct tip must confront, and try to make not like this but a rounder, so that this confronts. All right? Be in that posture. Close your eyes. Put the best beat you can imagine, which may make them look like that they should get to dance, and then they have to control. Put the drum really to put that, that's good. Now, lock the front portion of the finger. Now, stiff your body solid. Give no movement. Louder, louder. Don't move the body. That is your bed. help your chemistry. There are a million excuses to move the body. Cut them all out, stay solid. We are not being helped today. Inhale deep, 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 hold tight, pressure hard. Breathe out, inhale again, hold tight. Exhale, inhale deep, deep, hold tight. Relax. Many long times. All Satnam. There is some food here. It's very well prepared. Who prepared this? You prepared it? Very good. Everybody can taste it. It's pretty good. Don't give too much, it's too tasty. Taste will get spoiled. Little bit, just like this. Piece by piece. Oh, Swaran left the tapes. Ask Siri Ved to copy them. Tomorrow we are going to play them here. Tomorrow we are going to play with you music and its effect, and I like to play the music which you don't understand one word and would like to see how it affects you. And select some big heavy duty rock and roll and get something like jazz and get something like, symphony, get something like waltz. Select some from our own music, and then also get this tape good enough, and then 3-4 tapes you'll get it. So that Bhadrav Singh will give you and get a copy and make them all ready tomorrow, okay? Very well. What you put in it? Fiber food. Very good. You can sleep better than ever because lettuce has natural opium. Quite a bit though. Put you to sleep. And celery has natural insulin. Insulin. Celery